So we spoke last week about Brendan Rodgers and how he scurried back up to Scotland to try and maintain some sort of reputation, and he's gone back to winning things. Gerrard has got no obvious move left, I think, as a manager, other than Championship.
He probably shouldn't have Googled pastry girls.
That's all you Google.
Something else.
Nothing more specific.
But it's not helped.
What he needs is somewhere where he will win. And to your point, I don't think Rangers is exactly that in terms of attractive propositions right now, because they're not likely to topple nor even come close to Hearts, let alone fucking Celtic, anytime soon. So it's not an instant, look how good a job I'm doing. Now, it might have improved on the back of what Russell Martin had done, but it's incremental. It would have took time. It's hard work, actually, as well. It's not a walk-in day one, here we go again type vibe. So he probably does need a job where he can walk into it and they just dominate. Like, there are not many of them around. Celtic is one.
And they're not taking Steven Gerrard as manager.
There will be someone somewhere in Europe that is a surefire success story that wants to name Steven Gerrard as their manager. Yeah. What that looks like, I don't quite know, but it exists. And at some point, I reckon Gerrard goes to it.
Just like, he picked the team that was going to be at best the 5th best team in the Saudi Pro League. So he's already made that. I said this when he left Rangers, is he should have gone to Europe, and he should have gone, what you're saying there, he should have tried to go to Portugal and go and get one of the big 3 over there, and being with a good chance of picking up another piece. So, or Christ, go to the Dutch league and then probably get absolutely blown out of the water by Arne Slot. Not that we knew it at the time, but something like that. Whereas now, where's his stock at? Because you're right, Rangers is not a shoe-in. Brendan's got the last great sort of the cushy job in that league now. He'd only damage his reputation, really, because what they managed to achieve was brilliant and it was historic, and that was the perfect time to get out. And also, and look, ultimately, what we don't know is just how much has he asked? Where's his fire? He's never going to be Liverpool manager. Or if he did, he would really have to knuckle down and begin something from scratch, which you just don't know where his appetite for it is. I just wonder whether make him ambassador of the club, let him go to Anfield every week, let him show up and do what he wants to do. And
he's too young for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He clearly harbours ambitions of going back into it in some shape or form. He's never really took to the media side of it in his fullest either. I think he wants to be a football manager, ultimately. And he says all the right things to that point as well. So, it's just finding the right... Maybe somewhere in Belgium and Company did that, didn't he? Like, I don't know, because that's the only way he's going to rebuild.
I don't think it worked for Company.
Well, he gets a decent job off the back of it and then gets an even better job off the back of that, despite what he did. So he just needs some tangible success somewhere, and I don't quite know where he finds it. He might strike lucky and get someone in the Championship, potentially. One of the relegated clubs from this season, maybe. We've got a good chunk of money behind them and get obviously parachute payments, and they've got a proper chance of getting promoted back to the Premier League. Steven Gerrard's always going to be an attractive lure for anyone, really.
What's his coaching staff doing? Is this another part of it? Like, he can't get his normal lads together, so it's just...
They all just wait for Stevie.
Let's just Beale.
They just wait. All of them. They just wait.
Isn't Beale...
Beale's got off on his own thing now. He's slightly different, but the rest of them just...
But wasn't he the guy, though?
Yeah, in terms of the tactics, in terms of the coaching side of things, but then it span the other way with him. He couldn't translate that into being out on his own either, so he tried to keep QPR and Rangers, actually. So it's a tricky one, really tricky one for him. But again, I just think, if he did just retire and stop doing stuff, he's early 40s, mid-40s now.
Got enough money, though.
Yeah, he's got comfortably enough, but that's not the be-all and end-all for everyone.
He's not even a great pundit. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think he could be, and I said this for years, Gerrard being 100% unfiltered Gerrard is brilliant. That's why he's so good, and he's dead funny and he's dead dry, but he had his wires crossed so badly by all the media training that went on in that sort of in that era. I really liked the way he handled the press in Scotland. He was so sneering towards them. It was brilliant.
He was like Kenny.
Yeah, he was so dry and cutting, and of course you've got to have something behind you, but again, he doesn't quite have that aura around him as a manager anymore because of how it's gone.
You can understand his decision. I was speaking to me about this. If they were the Villa one, it might have been obviously in hindsight, which is a wonderful thing. It looks like a bad decision, but I got it because Aston Villa's a big job. Like, you know, when they've come calling, they're desperate to get you. There would have been an obvious attraction for him for that. Saudi, all money led, obviously, as we know, and he's gone and made there's multi-millions over there. So it is the what happens next. And I actually quite rate the fact he snubbed Rangers because when you look at it, it's not very appealing right now to go and do that job for him. So I think it would have been the easy one for him to go back in, knight in shining armour. They all adore him and he got that adulation. But actually, if he does want to make a success of this managerial lark, he needs a smarter pick than that.
He needs to I don't know, man. He needs to find out who he is now, because I don't think flip-flopping from Rangers to Villa to Saudi Arabia is Steven Gerrard, if I'm being totally honest. And like, I think he did the Saudi stuff for the wrong reasons, and you need to get back to doing stuff for the right reasons. And if that is finding a club that is right for you, it's difficult because he's such a superstar. It's only really, like, Rooney is admirable in some ways because he just went so low because he just wanted to do it. But Steven Gerrard's too big for that as well, isn't he? You know what I mean?
and look at Fowler. Like, he really wanted the managerial thing, but again, you get your little opportunities, and it's mad how quickly that circles and goes down the drain. You know, he's a hop, skip, and a jump away from like the Indian league or whatever. I think, God, there's someone half decent playing there at the moment, isn't there? I forget who it is off the top of it. It doesn't really matter, but like, that's where you end up, and you become a bit of a joke if he's doing it again. His next move has got to be something that he can get some sort of positive gain. Like, he was linked with the Wrexham job recently, and you're like, great for your PR for a bit, but if you fuck that up, you're fucking that up in front of more eyes than you've ever even kind of considered. Yeah, he does need to go and gain some sort of managerial credibility again somewhere. But
it's how you want to do it. I mean, I don't think Steven Gerrard being a number two to anyone's easy for the manager. But if you learn more and you come away a better coach yourself, then that might be the way to do it. Because he doesn't come across like a coach. He comes across like an old school manager.
I agree. If he'd have to do that away from the spotlight, in my opinion. You couldn't do that in this country because it would just all be about... It'd be an impossible job for the manager because of Stevie's pull.
unless the manager is like...
Oh, that's huge, of course. Yeah.
He could have...
But then...
it's weird.
Why would you?
Because he weirdly... Still kind of in the back of my mind believe he could have gone to Liverpool and done a Zidane style thing where if all the players are in place and the coaching staff are in place, you get to go in, you just handle the media and set the tone and you know, be boss and training, running around, then you might be able to do it. But it's not, you just don't get to do that, do you? You know, you always got the impression with Rangers, he was the best player in training. And he was like, turning up and being just, this is great, this. I'm still boss. But when you start to get a bit older and it starts to go, what does he want to do?
Do you look at Alonso? And I know that's an extreme example, but he looks at his managerial career and how that's gone and thinks, I want a little bit of that. Yeah. That'd be what I'd be doing.
This is why the South thing was mad. He's just such a home lad. You know, like the fact that he was commuting up to Scotland, you know, and then he would stay there for a bit, but they never went all in on that, and I don't think they went all in on Birmingham either. No. They did with Saudi at least. Yeah, the whole thing's weird.
Yeah, but he didn't live in Saudi.
No, of course not.
No, that's also because tax-free money, and ultimately that's why he went there.
That was a clip from the Biased Football Podcast. To check out the whole show, head to redmenplus.com or click the link in the description.